Hebrews 13:17, prophets on the scene, wash your souls clean before we go into the gasoline. Took a while to understand Psalms 111:10. Brother calling me from Mississippi, trying to build a man. I flushed 14 grams, it made angels rejoice. It made me and Satan divorce, no spousal support. I'm running the course with my hand to the plow. Now putting in the pebble the way Soldier James taught me how. Break it out, it strengthened my spirit when we in the building. Ain't no feeling like giving the precept for a precept given. Preach, MOV condition, teach, 7-second living. Read, 2 Timothy 2:15, represent us with a common interest. Prophesy to the wind, reveal the man of sin, endure it to the end. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Most High in Christ bless.
You are tuning in to another episode of the Watchman Radio, the Decree of the Watchers. So today we're going to be, I'm Officer Semachiah,
Officer Yochanan,
Officer Asa,
and Officer Zephaniah.
we in this
So
building.
today we're going to be dealing with the topic, how to deal in the workplace wisely. How to deal in the workplace wisely. This is something that very important for us. We repenting, we getting ourselves right. We learning how to deal. So this is a necessary topic because we got to go in the workplace and deal right. We got to deal right. We can't go to the workplace and be niggas. So before we get into that, we're going to go to our script. Give me Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 4. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 4. Because this is, even though this is more of a practical thing, but it's still us watching for the souls of the nation of Israel.
That's
Read.
right.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel.
So this is the instructions that we receive from the Most High God. He tell us to go and get to the house of Israel. Go and get to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So we can we got our mind right, now we got to get our people mind right. Read.
And speak with my words unto them.
And when we do it, we have to speak the words of God. Read.
For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language.
We send right back to the people that deal with the very same problems that we have been delivered out of, that we have awakened up and the scales came off our eyes. So now we going right back to our people that speak the same language that we speak. Read.
But to the house of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Not too many people of a strange speech and of an hard language.
Read.
Whose words thou canst not understand.
We got the same struggles. Everything, we the same people. We understand the struggle. So we are more than equipped to go back and show our people how to get out of that lifestyle, how to get out of the various lifestyles we live, how to get out of the various troubles. All of those things, we are equipped to do it because we come from the same background. Jump to 17.
Verse 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Read.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Our job is to give you warning. Our job is to give you warning, and that's what we're doing. We are the watchman. The watchman sits, when you just think of, if you search Google watchman, the watchman sits on the watchtower and watch for impending danger, for danger that's coming into the city.
That's right.
That's what our job is. The Most High woke us up before you. We studied, we learned, we got ourselves right, and now we able to watch what's going on in the community. We able to watch what's going on in the world and bring it back to the scriptures and show our people what they need to do to correct those things.
Right.
Read.
Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die.
So when the Most High tells the wicked, those that are breaking his commandments, that you're going to die, read.
And thou givest him not warning.
And we say, nah, I ain't going to say nothing. You know what? I'm going to let them figure it out on their own. Read.
Nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way.
Read.
To save his life.
And when we speak it, we saying it to save your life. It might not always feel good, but the purpose that the Most High put it, the Spirit in us to be able to speak it to you to save your life. But if we don't do that, what's going to happen to us? Read.
The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
You're going to die in your iniquity. You're going to die in foolishness. Read.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
But the blood is going to be on our hands if we don't say nothing to you. Read on.
Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness.
Now, if we warn you, what you getting a warning right now, you're getting a warning through this show. You're getting a warning through all the radio shows, all the classes, all of the information that's going out in this world about the truth about us being the Israelites, the truth about how to get out of the circumstances that we are in, the various platforms that we have to get the word out, to show our people the sin, to show our people the things that's going on in the world. That's the word going out. That's us showing you your error, the error of your ways. Read.
Right. Nor from his wicked way.
And you hearing all these things and you want to mock. You don't want to change your ways.
Right.
You want to go back to Christianity. You want to go to Islam. You want to go to all these various things that have nothing to do with us. Read.
He shall die in his iniquity.
You're going to die in your iniquity. Read. But you received the warning, but you're going to die in your iniquity. Read.
But thou hast delivered thy soul.
We delivered our soul. The blood is off our hands because we let you know. We told you what you need to do to correct your situation, but you rejected it. Read.
Again, when a righteous man.
That's it. So we're going to go into the topic. Let's get that first video. Video number 1. Let's pull up that first video number 1. The first video, we're going to open up the mighty Deacon Yahshua.
Do it heartily as to the Lord.
Everything you do it heartily as unto the Lord. Not just the things that pertain to the Lord. Everything. I know it's hard with some of the jobs. You don't like your boss. You don't like the environment that you're in. You know how you make those things easier? You do it heartily. And if you can't find a way to do it heartily just because you got that fire and that strength in you to do it, then do it as if it's unto the Lord. Do it to represent your nation and your people, even if no person understands what the heck an Israelite is on your job or what you're doing. God does, and he knows your intent and how you move with that.
So that's the basic instructions. When you go to work, all of these various things, these situations that we face with, you going to work, you got to do it as unto the Lord. You can't go in there and be like, I can't stand it. I mean, of course, we're going to have that, man. We're going to have that thought process. Can't stand this, that, and the third, but you have to know how to carry yourself so you don't be in there acting out your attitude or how you feel, and you being a nigga. They tell you to do something, you like, why? You got an attitude, because then it's gonna put a sour taste in they mouth, and they're gonna treat you wrong. They not gonna, if you want to get the Sabbath off, they're not gonna give it to you off. Right. The Most High not gonna be able to. The Most High is not gonna soften their heart to deal with you wisely if you going in there dealing like a nigga.
Right. Hey, officer, you mind if I get a script real quick?
Go ahead.
And I want to go to, let's get 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 7. And I'm going here because they might see us up here on the radio show and they might think like we don't understand, or which is a foolish thing. We in this fight with you. We got to keep the commandments with you.
Right.
But I want to let you know we can relate to what some of y'all may feel on the job.
Right.
I'm going to give an example. One of the forefathers, read.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 7. And delivered just Lot.
So stop. Lot was a just man, meaning he kept the commandments. Read.
Vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
We get it. We know what it's like to be on the workplace. Even if you got your own business, who you got to deal with? You got to deal with unrepenting people. You have to deal with heathens. You got to be around evil communication, evil conversations. You around men who just want to lust after women. You got to be around this. You around sisters with the horse spirit. You around all this stuff on the workplace, and it vexes your spirit. But what you got to keep in mind, 2 Corinthians, I'm going to get one more. 2 Corinthians 6:3. This is what you got to keep in mind. We understand that you vexed. We be vexed. I be vexed. But this is what we got to remember, because the officer was talking about it not being a nigga on the job. 2 Corinthians 6:3.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 3.
Even with all that, you vexed. You don't like the environment. None of us do. But we got to remember this. Read.
Giving no offense in anything.
Don't give no offense in anything. Watch your behavior on the job. Why?
That the ministry be not blamed.
If you be a nigga on the job, brother, sister, they're going to blame this movement. They're going to say, oh, them Israelites is niggas. Right. Okay, she wear a dress every day at work, but she ain't no different. She's still a nigga woman.
Right.
Okay, he got a beard and all this, but he still act like the niggas on the street. That shouldn't be said about you. You represent something greater. So even though you vexed, like Lot was in Gomorrah, he was vexed.
Right.
You still got to maintain your integrity. Go ahead, officer.
So real quick, give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 17. This is something that we gotta keep in mind as we go to work. We gotta understand, like, no matter all of the evils that happen to us, from the prejudices, the racism, all of that stuff that happened to us, how our enemies treat us, how Esau treat us on the workplace, how they view us on the workplace.
Bring it out.
We gotta understand that the Most High gonna judge them. We ain't got to do nothing to judge.
That's
we ain't
right.
got to do nothing. We going to work. We in our captivity. Serve your time. It's just like when you have children. If you got a child, a son, your son do something wrong, and then you discipline them. They trying to run. They trying to block the belt. They trying to do all of these things. You fighting against your own. What is it called? You fighting against the correction that's designed to straighten you up.
Right.
So we can't deal like that, because the scriptures say that the nations, the Most High used the nations as a belt, as a sword against us. So when we buck up at work and we go in there with an attitude and all those things, that's like you really bucking up at the Most High, because the Most High put them in place to get you in check.
Yep.
Well, read that.
Right. The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Now, first and foremost, this goes to our neighbor, our brother, our fellow Black, Hispanic, and Native American. We don't render evil for evil. They do something wrong to us, now we trying to get payback. We don't roll like that. That's not how we're supposed to deal. But this also applies when you go to work, when you're dealing with the other nations and atmospheres. We don't render evil for evil, because the Most High already said that He gonna judge them. We just got to trust in the Most High. Read.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Read.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
It says, avenge not yourselves. So don't go on your workplace with an attitude because they changed your schedule. They did this, they did that. You go in, they overworking you because you a hard worker and they giving somebody else slack. Trust in the Most High. The Most High gonna get them they just recompense or reward. Read.
But rather give place unto wrath.
Give place unto wrath. Leave that room for the Most High to judge them, because the Most High may judge them right then and there. He might judge. He might get them cause something to happen to move them out of the way so they get off your back. But if you want to decide to do something, I ain't doing nothing. You want to get an attitude, back talk, do things in spite, you might end up losing your job. And now how you gonna take care of your family? How you gonna provide? How you gonna do the things you need to do because you got an attitude at work?
Right.
Read on.
For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay.
The Most High said that He's going to repay. Vengeance is His.
That's right.
So all you gotta do is be at peace, be in the spirit, be respectable, go to work, handle your business, and go home. Go in, clock in, do your job, and go home. They ask you to do extra. As long as they ain't causing you to break no commandments, do the extra, go home. Because the Most High gonna judge them. The Most High gonna deal with them. We gotta trust that. Go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. That's one thing we gotta learn. We gotta learn to deal wisely when we go to work, because this is the place that we go to to provide for our families.
Yep.
The nations, when you got fringes on, they looking at you. They know something different.
Yep.
You got a beard. You ain't cutting your beard. You know what I'm saying? You got a case where you ain't working on the Sabbath. They know something is different about you. You may get questions.
Right.
You gotta be that light. You gotta be that example. You gotta be able to walk in wisdom because you got our people that's watching you while you at work. Because a lot of our people, they watch the videos, they see the fringes, they know who we are. So they may not. You got people that may not say nothing to you at work when they see you, but they see the fringes and they know that you. They know it's a lot of our people that'll watch you. They'll watch you. One thing we always got to remember is always somebody watching you.
All the time.
No matter where, if you frequent a store, somebody in that store watching you. They watching what you're doing. Yep. They never gonna say nothing. They'll say something after about 8 months of watching you, like, you know what, I've been observing you, and you the real deal. You doing this, or they observing you, and they gonna be like, I knew they was some niggas. So we just gotta be mindful. Read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10. Verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
Now we know that this is more so when Christ sent us out to go, he put his spirit on us and he sent us out to cast out devils, things like that. But this last part of the verse, this is what we have to do this as we go on about our day-to-day life. It says, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. When you examine, if you examine or research a serpent will be in the grass sitting right next to you and you don't even see it. It's like it's camouflaged. It'll sneak up on you and you wouldn't even know it's there until you get bit.
So what that's saying is the snake got a power to actually destroy, right?
Yeah.
The snake has a power to harm, right?
Right.
We got the same power.
Yep.
Right? We have a power, but we got to learn how to harness it is what the Lord trying to bring out to us. Harness it to use it as necessary, and at the job it's not necessary.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And then it says, "Be wise as serpents." So have that camouflage in your character. Be able to move around without being noticed. But it says, "Be harmless as doves." So take the nature of the serpent that's, I don't want to say sly and cunning because that kind of insinuate like he's being use tact, use wisdom.
Right.
Take that characteristic from the serpent. But throw the harming aspect of the serpent, throw that out the window. But it says be harmless as doves. So that's how we got to move when we in the workplace. And that goes into, you shouldn't be going in your job talking to this brother and that brother about, we Israelites, so watch this video. You can get fired. Read the next verse.
And it's like with that, you can't never stop touching on that. Something that I ran into just over time, is always somebody that say, I've been at my job a long time. They know me. Yeah. I'm good. We cool. And Bro, you'll get fired the same way. Yep. That don't matter.
And this is what it is. Read the next verse.
Bring it out.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 17. But beware of men.
It says, beware of men. You got to be cautious. Because now, granted, you might be on a job, somebody see your fringes, and they be like, hey, you a Jew? You a Hebrew? Yeah. And you just keep it moving. Ain't no sense of continuing that conversation.
Right.
It ain't no, yeah, you are too.
I've had that plenty of times. I had that plenty of times. Every it's like, because I do deliveries, right? I drive trucks, I do deliveries. And some places where I go, like, we'll start the work, and it'll take maybe 2 or 3 hours to get the job done. And then at the end, they'll say something about the fringes. And they'll know. And I think the whole time while they watching, they trying to see if I'm really about what, like the officer said, about their life. So we have to be on point at all times when we out there with them people. Yes, we can hurt people. You know what I'm saying? People got the spirit to say, you know what? Why is he trying me? Right. Why would they try me? You know who I used to be?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we know you can hurt people, right? Everybody pushed into a corner can hurt people, but how much more powerful is it for you to reserve that and give mercy? Yep. Like our forefather, like our big brother Christ. We walking in the spirit of him, give mercy.
Yep. Right. That's giving place to wrath.
Absolutely.
Read on. It said, beware of men. Read.
But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues.
Now we know, like I said, ultimately this is going into us preaching the gospel and them delivering us up for preaching the gospel.
Right.
But when you at work, you gotta be. And then this goes for you brothers. You got your own business, things like that. You gotta think. If you got your own business, let's say you going into people's houses and you working in their house, you doing various things, and you going in there and but you got to remember, not all Israel is right in the head.
Bring it out.
You got Israelites that's going out and they videos on YouTube.
You talking about people that know they Israel.
There's people that know they Israel,
right,
that cursing people out, just being niggas.
Eating ham on Thanksgiving.
Right. You got to be mindful of those things, because you got your own business, but you still got to be wise as serpents.
That's
because all it takes is somebody to give you one bad review.
Yep.
All it takes, and they could tarnish your business.
Bring it out.
And now people ain't calling you because you didn't went too far. Because sometimes, like I said, people gonna ask questions. This word is going out. People, when they see the fringes, they know you Israel.
Right.
But you got to be able to control that urge to, oh yeah, you Israel. You going into it. You start going through the scriptures, and
you offend
somebody. Now they done went on Google or Facebook.
Yep.
And said you were harassing them. You were part of the black Hebrew Israelite cult, and now your business then got tarnished because you couldn't restrain yourself. That's not the time or the place.
It's not being wise.
Right. It's not being wise. Now sometimes sometimes few and far in between, you do get somebody they may have been watching and they sincerely believe. You gotta come to a point where you're able to discern them times. But overall, you got to refrain from it, because you got, especially when you're on Esau job, you got Christians, you got people that act like they believe and act like they talking to you, and you get to talking to them, and they get to go tell the boss, yeah, he part of this cult. You come to work, you ain't got no job.
Yep.
We got to be very mindful of that. So read Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
You got to constantly touch on that, because Jake be thinking like, oh, this my people.
Right.
A Negro will flip on you, and they'll be smiling in your face and go right to HR and say that you are part of a cult, a hate group, and this will be the dude you dap him up all the time. You think y'all cool.
Y'all go out for drinks after work. He get you fat and take your hours.
Yep. Be mindful.
So read that real quick.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So it's to everything is a season, and everything is a time for every purpose under heaven. It's a time to preach the gospel. It's a time to show our people who they are. When you at work, it's not the time. It's very, very little window of, if somebody asks you a question, are you Israelite? You Jewish? Yeah, I'm a Jew.
Right.
And move the other way and keep doing your job. You got to learn how to move wisely to where you're not an offense on the jobs, and then you got people that'll lie on you. You got to be very mindful. Go to verse 7.
Verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
There's a time to keep silent and there's a time to speak. When you at work, there's a time to keep silence. You be very short when people try to take you there, because you got Christians. You ever deal with the Christians? Christians will set you up.
Oh yeah,
they'll set you up. They be prying, asking questions, and before you know it, you at camp at the job. You at camp at the job and causing the scene. Now you fired.
Right.
We got to be very mindful of those things. So pull up video number 2. Video number 2. That's just like a preface.
Excellent preface. All praise.
Learn me, I learn you. Diversity, teach
That's
me.
the timestamp.
I'll teach you. Freedom be.
24 seconds. So we're going to 24 seconds to 3 minutes.
Hey, Tariq, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, so just real quick. So this is, we're going to read the definition after this, but this video, we skipped the intro, But this is basically dealing with us, how when we go into the workplace, because we speak different, we carry ourselves a little different. But Esau has this professional atmosphere at certain jobs. So what we finna see here is our people on the job and then them being criticized on how they speak, how they carry themselves. But he gonna handle this one is a good way to handle yourself. But let's play it. I'm gonna bring the scripture out after.
You had some really great ideas today, but one thing that concerns me is, let me see, how do we put this? The way you express yourself.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, what I mean is the way that you speak sometimes, it involves a lot of slang. Like when you say things like, for sure, y'all, or even nah. People don't listen. And I want you to be heard and respected because you're smart, and I don't think this happens in the office.
Okay, does anybody else see a problem here? Michael is definitely relaying some of his own bias and perhaps expressing concern for the things that he's heard in the office. The issue here, though, is the context rooted in racial bias. Now let me explain.
So you got, and this happens a lot. We speak different, you know what I'm saying? We got soul.
Right.
Like in the words of Captain Shim, we got soul.
Yep.
Everybody know. Right. So we carry ourselves in a certain way on a job, and you could tell by the brother you could tell he was very well spoken.
Right.
He very well spoken, but he say, hey, for sure he being himself. But he not over, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we don't want to go overboard with you in the job, just complete everything you say out your mouth is slang.
Right.
That's different. But you could tell that the brother carry himself uprightly, and he's clear and all of that. So, but it's a problem because and this is what we deal with day to day. He being biased because he don't fit in with Esau at the job or the other nations at the job. And one of them, they approached him about it. But play on.
Tariq to code switch. Code switching is how individuals adjust all forms of communication and expression based on their audience. Throughout history, from navigating job interviews to integrating oneself with clientele, there are countless reasons people of color code switch in white spaces. But historically, code switching has served as a defense against linguistic discrimination, a form of bias that is partially implicit.
So she mentioned the term code switching. Code switching is when we around our friends, family, you know what I'm saying? But then we go to work. Yes, sir. We speak proper in that atmosphere. And it's like she said, it's to adjust to the prejudice and the racism and the bias. It's like a coping mechanism to try to cope with that environment so you don't get ridiculed. But play on.
And other people in the company are doing to Tariq is a form of linguistic profiling. Tariq is now going to practice a method we call dealing with it. Y'all check it out.
Let me ask you some clarifying questions, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm saying offensive?
No.
Is what I'm saying hard to understand?
Well, no.
Okay, so it's just too black for this office, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to be respected, right?
First of all, there's nothing wrong with the way I speak. I'm not using any offensive language or verbally attacking anyone. This is a conversation about preference and lingual privilege. You know what that is, Michael?
I haven't heard of it, no.
When you stated that you base my level of intelligence off the way I speak, that relates to a historical practice of whitewashing people of color in the United States.
I had no clue. I'm so sorry.
I want you to understand that if you can grasp the concepts of my speech and I'm not confusing and you don't need clarity, then I'll continue to speak in a way that represents my authenticity. And the next time you hear someone speaking about the way I speak, please feel free to be an ally since you respect me so much.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Again,
So real quick, give me Sirach chapter 5 and verse 10. So I played this one first because we got some other ones that's a little different than this. They more comedic. But the reason I like this, because this is more so how we supposed to be. We're supposed to be ourselves.
Right.
We're not supposed to be constantly changing up who we are and all of that stuff. We're supposed to be ourselves. It's just we got to have a restraint to knowing when and where to speak about things, especially in the workplace. We got to have a when and where, knowing how to restrain and what not to say, what not to do. But we still got to ultimately be ourselves. We got to be the same person, but in that atmosphere, we just restrict certain things, but we're not just openly speaking about things that don't need to be spoken about. But read that real quick.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5, verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding.
And of course, like I said, we know that this being steadfast in your understanding is speaking about being steadfast in the laws of God, being steadfast and keeping the commandments. Don't be wishy-washy. You keeping the commandments, keep the commandments all the time. Right. But that same principle applies to our daily walk. We're supposed to be the same at work that we are when we come around the body. We're supposed to have the same. We're not supposed to be hiding. We're supposed to be the same person all the time. Read.
And let thy word be the same.
Let your word be the same. Speak the same thing. Your personality, your personality, what's the word? What's another word? Your personality. We leave it at that. Your personality should be the same. You shouldn't be changing up. You one way at home, you one way around the body, and you another way at work.
Right.
That's you. It's like you live in split personalities.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That duality.
Yeah.
Right.
Two different personas. Hey, officer, we got time for a script real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go to Matthew chapter 22 and verse 34. This another reason. I was looking at this. This another reason why you got to be mindful of your speech. When people be coming to you, like questions they be asking, like I know me myself, I'm very leery if somebody get to talk about the Bible, anything,
right?
Because I don't know your intentions,
right.
I don't know what your motive is. You might know who I am. You might know what I do when I'm not at this workplace. So I listen to stuff people ask me, why they asking me that, even if they come in like a confrontational manner. You got to think about all this.
Right.
Watch this. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together.
So the Pharisees had heard that Christ was confounding the hell out the Sadducees, tearing them up in the word. Read.
Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him.
Doing what?
Tempting him.
Doing what?
Tempting him.
Sometimes they'll ask you stuff in the workplace because they trying to get you to react a certain way. They want to get a certain response. So you got to be mindful. That go back to what the officer brought out in Matthew 10. Be wise as a serpent. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You got to be mindful. People to try to set you up like that right there. Say it was a heathen that do that to you at your job. They want you to turn into the angry black man. Now you're fired. Or the angry black woman. You get mad, kick the printer. Now you out of a job. You got to watch all this stuff. Why is they asking me this? Like the scripture say, prepare what you going to say then speak. You got to assess all that.
Right, because that's how they think about us anyway. They already got the thought that we are wild animals.
Yep.
So with what officer bringing out on how we should conduct ourselves, these different videos and the scriptures that we're bringing out, we must take heed to it. All right?
And then it don't just apply to the workplace. You go out to eat. People see them fringes. You going in the store shopping. You in line. You standing in a long line. Come on, man. Y'all only got one line open?
Right.
Hey, what, you gonna open another line? Come on, we gotta. Our people watch this stuff. They see them, even if they don't know nothing about the fringes. They see them fringes, and then later on, they see you on a video teaching.
I make it
trying to tell people how to conduct themselves.
Right.
I make it my duty when I'm out in public to ensure that I'm really repping for my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like counteract the negative that they have of us. Like for instance, when we go out to eat, I'm always tipping. I'm going to tip. They got the base, they got the custom tip, and then they got a few others. I always do what I can do to let them know that we all ain't the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. When you see these fringes, you're going to see a difference.
Yep.
So I just try to always make sure I'm on point when I'm in public.
Right. So let's pull up the image 1 real quick, because the sister mentioned, I briefly touched on it, but they mentioned code switching.
Bring it out.
So let's read that highlighted part.
In popular usage and in sociolinguistic study, the term code switching is frequently used to refer to switching among dialects, styles, or registers. This form of switching is practiced, for an example, by speakers of African American vernacular English as they move from less formal to more formal settings. Such shifts, when performed by public figures such as politicians, are sometimes criticized as signaling inauthenticity or insincerity. The term code switching is also used outside the field of linguistics. Informally, code switching is sometimes used to refer to relatively stable, informal mixtures of two languages, such as Spanglish, Taglish, or Hinglish.
So that's it with that. So that's what code switching is. So let's pull up that video number 3. We're gonna see some areas, some arenas where our people code switch. And we're gonna play video 3, 4, and 5 right after each other.
Like 3-4 Blunt Road. I'm lit every day. It's homecoming. I'm drunk every day. I'm there for the hoes. I told Dr. J last week, bro. I said,
So this is us. So this is us speaking. We speaking when we around the homies, around the brothers. We just speaking regular. This is how we speak. But now you see he got a phone call. Play.
Hello? Who this is?
Where I know you from? Kyle. He put in a job application about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Down at the real estate office.
Oh, the job application I put in. Yes. This is Kyle speaking. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm just sitting down reading some books. Yes.
Oh, yeah? What's your favorite book, buddy? I read
What's my favorite book? Cat in the Hat.
So real quick, just like that part right there. That's when it said, let your word be the same, be authentic. He said he loved to read books. So that's the part of it, you being phony. Because now he asks, oh, what's your favorite book? You like, So that's where you don't want to go. You don't want to go too far with it. Because then now you being something that you ain't. And you ask the question, you don't know how to answer it. You ain't got to answer for it. The Cat in the Hat. Grown ass man talking about his favorite book is The Cat in the Hat.
And you make yourself look worse because you're trying to put on this persona like you somebody trustworthy and dependable.
Right.
Now you messing it up for yourself.
Go ahead, play.
Knee slapper just to get the ball rolling. You guys want me to go ahead and come in this Friday. There will be mandatory drug testing.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be a marijuana smoking now, would you, buddy?
That's fine.
Is that fine?
No, of course not. Marijuana, I don't even know what marijuana is.
He stay lit. He was just talking about rolling up.
That's it?
Oh. Hey, that's too much work.
That's
too much work. But you know you don't talk like that, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
On 1 second.
Now, I normally don't play video. I hate when men poses. I hate that. That vex me. Why you didn't get a sister for this skit?
Right.
This part of the skit. Why you got to?
Right. It's in the spirit though. Like I seen it on the first skit.
Yeah.
It's in the spirit.
But it is in line with what we tell us. This is how some of us grew up.
Man.
We'll play.
Sweetheart. Yes. Did you scroll down to the bottom? Yes, at the very bottom. Yes. Hold on 1 second, ma'am. Hold on 1 second. Ladarius, sit your monkey ass down before I come over there and knock you the fuck out. Sit down. Okay, yes, ma'am. I am at the very bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Like, she ain't even one of my janks for real. The nerve to throw shade in my face. I'm like, come on now, sweetheart. Like, why would you even do that? Like, shit was getting sideways. I was like, Lord have mercy. Like, I said, I ain't even rocking with it no more for real. But listen, hold up 1 second. I'm finna order. Hold up, bro. I'm finna order. All right.
Hello, how's it going? Terrific.
Right.
What can I get for you?
Can I get a number 1 with no pickle?
Okay, number 1.
Yes, number 1 with no pickle fries. And then let me get
now this, we may look at it like at the drive-thru. Why you gotta change up how you talk at that? You a drive-thru ordering food. These people are dealing with your food. You be a nigga to them. You a nigga, they a nigga too. And they mess around and drop your food on the floor, do
sneeze on your,
do all type of manner of evil.
Rub a
hand
boogie
to you
in
like
your
ain't nothing happen.
I can't watch this without getting a flashback.
Oh yeah.
I had relatives. That's the wrong time you want to snap.
Yeah.
You in the car, I'm in the car like,
yeah.
Don't, you know they cooking our food. Don't do that. No, they taking too long. We in this line. Bro, I don't even want to eat here.
Nope.
Now you scared. You like, wait a minute, why you just do all that? Or you snapping on the waiter in the restaurant. They have to prepare our food.
Right.
So that's wisdom. He actually applying wisdom.
Right. And that's where it's a very fine line where you got to know when and where and how far to go. You can't be just phony.
Right.
But you do got to learn you got to be wise as serpents. You got to know when and how to speak in certain situations. Go ahead.
With a lemonade mix with no ice. Yes, with no ice.
Would you like any condiments?
Would I like any condiments?
Take your time.
Yes, let me get ketchup and then let me get honey mustard.
Okay,
yes.
good.
That is it.
Okay, so I have a number 1, no pickles. Right. Fries, lemonade, sweet tea mix, no ice, with ketchup and honey mustard.
Yes.
2 of each. Is that fine?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Could you just pull up? My pleasure.
I'll go ahead and pull up here.
My pleasure. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. But shit, bro, look, like what I was saying, solid. Like, for real. Like,
he using wisdom, boy. That's wisdom. Right. He making sure he don't get no hair in his food, nobody spit in his food, nothing. Even if they do something wrong. You gotta know how, do that little code switch.
Now, video 4. This is at the workplace. You dealing with work.
I'm so motherfucking tired of this bitch.
Excuse the language.
Hi, how are you, Miss Wilson?
I'm good. Are you doing good?
Yes, ma'am.
How's today going?
Today has been great. The calls have been very slow. Yes, ma'am.
That's good.
How's the family?
Good. The family's great. My daughter's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, she had a birthday?
Yes.
Oh, happy birthday
the big
to
one,
her.
5.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Yes, my little preteen.
Yes. Quick question. Why have I been put in a meeting? What's going on?
No biggie. You just been going a minute over your breaks. That's all.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I had troubles logging back in after my 15-minute break.
No big deal. Can you just work on that for me, okay?
I can definitely work on that. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
I can definitely work on that. Just
so
for
this
you.
is good because you can, even though it's an act, but you can see that she's showing restraint because normally the stigma that's against us is, what you mean I was late? Don't you understand I was doing it? You don't act like a nigga. It's not a time for you to snap back. You don't understand what I'm going through. It's not the time for that. Comply. It's a scripture to talk about agree with thine adversary quickly.
Right.
While thou art in the way with them.
Right.
So you just gotta use wisdom to keep your job. Go ahead.
Man, if I get a script on this.
Go ahead.
This is what she just applied. You gotta be mindful of this because your boss has the power to take away your livelihood. That's what you gotta understand. Them co-workers, if you get out the spirit, don't know how to control yourself, they can go to HR, get you in a situation. Read Sirach chapter 8 and verse 11. This for those of us that be quick to snap, want to try to speak your mind. Even when you are being done wrong, you have to know how to approach the situation.
Right.
I know sometimes I done seen people in the workplace, they will react how she reacted the first couple of minutes.
Right.
That's how they'll walk in the room, and then you wonder why you getting sent home. Read this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, verse 11.
Read.
Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person.
An injurious person is somebody that can do you harm. Mm-hmm. This person has power to do harm to you. Right. Don't rise up in anger. Don't snap out. It could be the person that set the schedule or mess with your time. don't react in anger because they are an injurious person. If they want to be an a-hole and make things hard, they can do that. The Lord telling us how to deal. Read on. Why?
Lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words.
Now he got you. You just snapped on this person. Oh, it's a wrap. Now you wondering why you getting off late the whole week.
Right.
Because this person got the power of the Lord telling you how to deal. So with these videos, it's some wisdom in them. We got to learn to apply that. Go ahead, officer.
Go ahead and play. Bring the video back up.
Yeah,
Just
just
for
watch
you.
the time, okay? That's all I ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
sure can. All right. I'm going to get back on the calls, okay?
You better. Have a great day, okay?
You do the same.
Because you
Thank
see
you.
those are triggers. And you can see even though she acting, you can see them trigger words. Are you better? our natural reaction, what the F you mean I better? You better watch who you talking to.
You don't know me.
Right. That's the
nigga, what?
Right. You don't know me. You better watch how you talking to me. Bruh. You want to go outside? We got to use wisdom.
Absolutely.
And that's what this just displayed. You got to use wisdom. You got to restrain that because this is your livelihood.
Right.
Pull up that next video. Video number 5. Now this one had me dying. This one is a little bit. I don't know what it was, but this one was a little bit over the edge.
Hey man, how's that job going?
It's really good. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm the only black person there. You know what I'm saying? So I really run shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really there. You know what I'm saying? I do that shit for real on my mama. I'm dead. Hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, what's going on, Bill? Oh yeah, I got those papers nice and filed for you. They're on your desk. They'll be there on Monday. Oh yeah. All right. Tell Samantha I said hey. Alrighty. See you later, partner.
Wow.
What was that?
So yeah, on my mama, like
What?
I couldn't do that, bro, all day. I can't. That's why the officer was bringing out, bro. You gotta be yourself, bro. So you telling me you at work, you basically acting like a damn Edomite.
Right.
Like, bro, that's too much, bro.
That's draining, bro.
Yeah.
You cannot sustain that for long periods of time.
Right.
But it's a reason why that happens.
Right.
The sister in the I think the second video you played, she was talking about it's like a remnant of slavery. Like that's an old vestige of slavery. It's an old it goes back to us trying to appease them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in order to appease them, we'll do things like try to make them feel good so they don't feel threatened. Because we got a tone in the way we speak. We the salt of the earth.
Right.
When we move and we say things and we infer certain things, they don't know what that means. Like with Sonia Macy.
Yep.
She told the officer, I rebuke you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She being herself a Christian, quote unquote Christian woman. And that Edomite didn't understand. That white man didn't understand what she was saying. Or maybe in his spirit he did understand what she was saying. But had she not taken that route and herself code switched and not use her normal vernacular with him, she might still be alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to play a video. If we could pull that video up. Pull that one video up. The last video that we posted. Yeah, pull it up. And did I put the time steps on there?
I don't think so.
Yeah. 140. Go to 140. I think it's 140. Because that's an old vestige of slavery. And it's actual, before you play it, it's an actual fight or flight response, right? There's a thing that when you experience a certain level of anxiety, you have to respond in order to get out of the potential harm, the potential danger that you're facing. You're going to either fight or run. Or in some cases, you're not doing anything at all. You might just freeze up.
Right.
And then there's another one which affects our people. Our people fall under the fawn, F-A-W-N, meaning we kowtow to others, to please others ahead of pleasing ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and play this.
Then we have the fawn response, which is the tendency to people please, to try and make peace, to try and make things okay for others. It's very other-centered. If we're raised by a parent who's very volatile emotionally,
that's key. That's key right there. If we're raised by a parent that's volatile and emotional, the volatile and emotional parent that we were grown up with, give me Revelations 12:14. The volatile parent that we grew up with was the so-called white man. He was volatile and emotional. He had a whole lot of anger. He had a whole lot of hatred towards his brother Jacob. And he treated us whatever way he felt necessary to maintain dominance over us. All right? Go ahead, read that real quick, and then we're going to go back to the video.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
So that woman is in reference to the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
That she might fly into the wilderness.
Fly into the wilderness here in America. Go ahead.
Into her place. Where she is nourished for a time. And times. And a half a time. From the face of the serpent.
So for a certain period of time, mainly during slavery and a little bit afterwards, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were nourished, were fed, were raised, were brought up after the mind of the white man.
Right.
And us being brought up and nourished by him, guess what? We got a father and son relationship with this guy. This guy takes care of us. You understand? Go ahead, go back to the video. So I just wanted to go there to show that our people were nourished or brought up by this white man. You finna say something? Go ahead. Play the video.
We may not really be able to focus on ourselves growing up and what we feel and what we need.
We never had post-traumatic stress therapy. Our people suffer post-traumatic stress. Slavery gave us post-traumatic stress. We don't want to experience that no more. So when we on our jobs and we may feel threatened by getting fired, we may feel threatened by losing hours, we may feel threatened by whatever we feel threatened by. So we speak to Billy like this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they don't feel us as a threat so they can move us out the way. But the Lord said, woe to the man that makes flesh his arm. Right. You understand that? We trust in this white man to provide for us, to make sure that we able to live day to day. But who gives us the spirit to wake up and go to work? Who gives us the strength to not be sick? Right. It's the Lord. He do these things. And he's angry that we don't give him that reverence. Right. We should be fearing God, and we should be code switching from Esau's mindset to God's mindset.
Right.
So we don't get him pissed off, so he don't kill us. You know what I'm saying? Don't fear the man that can destroy your body. Fear the man that can destroy your soul and body in hell. That's it.
So real quick, I want to, in reference to something that you brought out, remind me when I was like probably 15, 16, and me and my friends used to go to the library. And in the library, you're supposed to whisper, speak quietly. Yeah. So we'd be in there, and we get to talking. Our voice get to raising. Yeah. And he was a security guard. It was a black Jake brother. He used to come and talk to us. He'd be like, "Hey, I understand. Hey, we black. We speak with power. We speak with authority. So you can't keep us down. And our voice is gonna rise. But hey, y'all gotta understand the environment y'all in. We in the library, y'all got to keep it down. If y'all ain't able to keep it down, just step outside, do what you got to do, and then come back in." And I never forget it because it was true. Because we were growing up, we was like the code switching and all that. We get around them, we want to speak quietly. We don't really want to speak and things like that. But it's just profound. But then dealing with the workplace, like that first video, give me Proverbs 26 and verse 5, because this is what the brother did in that first video. When he didn't bow down. Right. He actually dealt with the matter right then and there because he just being himself. He was being his authentic self. Get that Proverbs 26 and start at verse 4.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 4. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him.
So that's that going tick for tack, rendering evil for evil. They come at you sideways, now you cursing them out, you ready to fight. Don't answer them like that, because now you're going to mess around and lose your job. Don't answer them according to their folly. Don't respond, because that's actually the response they trying to get out of you, because that's the stereotype against us, that we niggas, we don't know how to act, we don't know how to behave ourselves, we behave ourselves like animals. No, don't answer a fool according to his folly. I mean, no, don't respond, don't stoop. They say don't stoop down to his level.
Right.
But read on.
Answer a fool according to his folly.
Now verse 5 says, answer a fool according to his folly. Read.
Lest he be wise in his own conceit.
Now this is talking about addressing him. What that brother did, he addressed it.
Right.
He said, am I speaking offensive? Can you understand what I'm saying? So he put the fool in his place.
That's right.
He didn't get outrageous. He didn't stoop down to his level. He maintained his composure. He used wisdom and corrected the situation without tarnishing his name. So that's how we supposed to deal. That's how we supposed to move. Play that next video. Video number 6.
That's funny. I saw.
Dude, what up, man? Give me love. Hey, man, what up? What up? Curry, my dude. What up, man? Give me love. Bron. Hey, D.
Hello,
Tim.
Glad to see you.
Bring it in. Yeah. Bob, good to see you. Jerry, bring it in.
So that's the visual to show. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, in some situations, you gotta adjust. You gotta adjust how you move.
Paul did that too.
Use wisdom. Yup.
Yeah.
Condescend to me in a low degree. You adjust based on, like, it's not you changing yourself. You're not what's the word I'm looking for?
You're not compromising your integrity.
Yeah, you're not compromising your integrity, but you understand the situations. You understand the environments that you're in, so you know how to maneuver.
Yep.
You know how to adjust when you need to adjust, to use wisdom, so you are still shown in a good light. You being yourself, but you using wisdom. Real quick, get Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. This is what we got to keep in mind as we go into these workplaces. We going on about our day-to-day, going out to eat, going out doing wherever environment we in. We got to be very mindful, because we got these fringes. We stand out we stand out.
Yep.
We stand out. Even if people can't see your fringes, you stand out. You stand out because the light of the Most High is on you. The Most High is on, the Spirit of the Most High is in you and on you. You gonna stand out. People gonna see the difference when you walk in the room. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Read.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's what we supposed to be. As we're applying the commandments, we using wisdom in every situation. These nations gonna look at us like, nah, these guys different. These guys ain't like the other. They ain't like the other niggas I see that come into this job or come into this store and do this and do that.
Right.
Us applying the commandments, and remember everything that we bringing out is the commandments. Give me Baruch chapter 4 and 1. Everything that we bringing out is the commandments. The commandments ain't just thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not covet. It's not just limited to those specific things. We got a whole slew of commandments. Everything, just read that real quick. Read the book of Baruch. Let the Bible say it.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God.
This is the book of the commandments of God. Notice it don't say Exodus 20 is the commandments of God. The 10 commandments are the commandments of God. It says this is the book, this Bible. These 80 books that we got is the commandments of the Lord. Read.
Right. And the law that endureth forever.
And it endures forever. We have to apply the commandments. We have to do what it says to do. Right. Not be cliche and say, oh, no, you got to do what the whole Bible say. So why you wearing pants? No, see, that's the old covenant. Well, a man's supposed to wear their beard. No, that's the old covenant. That's under the old covenant of the law. You can't eat pork. Nah, see, you know, Christ did away with. Nah, we have to keep the commandments as it's written. Read.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
And as we keep these commandments, we're going to come to life. Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
And when you don't keep the commandments, you're going to die. That's why we live in the slums and the ghettos, because we broke God's commandments. So let's pull up that next image. I think that's image 1. No, that's image 2. I'm sorry. So let's read that real quick. So this is when you're at the workplace. These are some things that you got to do when you're at work. These are things that you got to incorporate into your behavior. Remember, the scriptures say, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We no longer, when you come into this truth, you learn who you are. We have to change. We can no longer be that person that fly off the handle every time somebody say something to us that we don't like.
Right.
But let's read that.
Here are some ways to be a good employee. Be reliable. Meet deadlines. Take responsibility for your work and show up on time. Be a good communicator. Ask questions. Listen actively and provide constructive feedback. Use nonverbal communication like eye contact and body language. Be a team player. Work well with others and be an effective teammate.
That got to be said. Like when you say, as far as be a good communicator is concerned, it says use nonverbal communication like eye contact and body language, because those different things that we do, like we hearing something we don't like, Tennessee says, roll your eyes. That's offensive to people. That's like a fighting stance to some people. Like you're not in agreement. Like at work, you got to be agreeable with these people, even though you might not be the best of friends, but try to control those little tics that you have. You know what I'm saying? Try to control your little shoulder shrugs and head, whatever. Control yourself. All right? That's what we're in the business of. We're in the business of disciplining self and controlling self. And these are some good tips.
Hey, some with these tips as we reading them, that go back to adapting to your environment.
Right.
Because this may seem like something small. You know, if you just shrug your shoulders, you know you're not being, this just, if you know this your mannerism, you know you're not disrespecting somebody. But when you go into this environment, you got to understand that'll be offensive.
Right.
You might not necessarily look at people when you talking to them, like talking to them. Like you might be doing something, you know, on your phone or looking at your watch or something. But when you go in this environment, they might feel like, oh, you ain't giving me eye contact.
Yep.
What I'm saying is not important.
Right.
Yet. So you gotta adapt. And they ain't saying you be fake, but you gotta adapt to this environment, because all this stuff would be deemed as, okay, he's not friendly.
Yep.
He's not a people person.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't trust him.
Right.
I don't trust him. I don't want him around.
Yep.
He's rude.
Yeah.
So you got to know how to adapt.
Right. Go ahead.
Be a team player. Work well with others and be an effective teammate. Be adaptable. Be open to change and learn from your mistakes. Have a positive attitude. Be motivated and practice self-motivation. Have a strong work ethic. Use your best effort and work toward the company's goals.
It said have a positive attitude, be motivated, and practice self-motivation. That means if you guys work that's needing to be done at a particular time, ain't nobody got to ride you to do it. You know what your scope of work is. Stay on top of it. Don't have nobody always micromanaging you. And now, because they micromanaging you, you got attitude.
Right.
Why you always on my shoulder? Just be a self-motivator. All right?
That's when the body language come in, because somebody got to micromanage you. But if you're doing your job, if you're doing your job correctly, you don't have to be fake. You don't have to be phony.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about somebody being over your shoulder. Is that going to get done?
Right.
Are you going to do that?
Right.
And now you're getting the attitude.
Right.
Now you're getting mad.
Right.
Right.
Why are you always on my back? Because you're not doing what you're
Right.
supposed to do.
Hey,
That's why.
Hey, that's the truth. Hey, also, I can get a precept real quick.
Precept.
Go ahead.
Luke 16:8, real fast. because you had brought out in Deuteronomy 4, the Lord gave us wisdom. So the nations, the world supposed to see the wisdom that we have.
Go and bring it out.
But all praise to the Father.
All praise.
But what we looking at, this just show like, okay, people, this is made by somebody in the world.
Right.
Listen to what the Bible say.
The book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. And the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely.
Read.
For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of the light.
Because you might be looking at this like, okay, this is an article made by somebody else, but this is wisdom. Right. This is some wisdom on how to move in a work environment.
Yep.
Exactly. Some things that if you apply this, you will keep your job.
Right.
You will stay out of situations. I'm telling you, it'll be the little small stuff. They'll deem you weird or not a people person because you don't come in and speak to people. Or when people speak to you, you make faces or you don't do the little smirks and all of this.
Right. You roll your eyes. You don't give them eye contact.
Right. All of that's offensive. So you got to apply this wisdom. Somebody speak to you, it's okay to be polite.
Right.
That being a team player, you might have to work with a straight nigga.
Yeah.
Still be like, oh, what's up, Ron? How you doing? He might be a straight nigga. Deal with him for your 8 hours, and then you ain't got to see him no more. I remember one of the officers used to say, punch in, make your money, punch out.
Yeah.
That's it. Go ahead. You was supposed to say something?
No, that's it. You got it.
And that's the wisdom, because it's just one of them, everything don't require a response. But at the same time, you don't want to be the person that walk into your job and, hey, how you doing today? And you walk the other way, don't even acknowledge them. Then be like, man, he got an attitude.
This is weird ass.
Like, why he don't say nothing? I just spoke with him. He just ignored me. You gonna create a tense work environment because people are not gonna want to be around you.
Right.
You can't walk in the room and don't speak to nobody. You have to, if somebody say something, respond back.
Right.
Now if the conversation go left and go all into the abyss, then of course you exit the conversation respectfully. But somebody just stuff as simple as, how you doing? Hey, how was your weekend? So how was your day yesterday? Stuff like that. Respond. You can keep it, you could be cordial and keep it short so it don't turn into the left conversation. We know the wicked conversations our people have at work. Bruh. So you gotta be wise to step in, step out.
Even in weird situations where I had an incident where we were talking about code switching. The other nations very rarely ever code switch with us. And when they try to do it with us, it feels like they, I don't know, mocking maybe.
Right.
I had this 160-year-old man tell me, he say, "What up, cuz?" He said, "What up, cuz?" I looked at him, I was like, I just gave him the head nod. And he went on about his way, and I guess he felt it was weird too, but he "what up, cuz" me. I don't even talk like that. That was weird, bro. It was weird. But so when you in situations like that, even when it's weird, you just,
right,
respond to get out the situation,
right,
and not to create tension.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Read the rest. Pull that image back up.
Be respectful. Treat everyone with respect.
He missed one.
Go ahead.
Read that again. Be respectful. Treat everyone with respect.
Hey, officer, that's a big one, because you around a lot of spirits that you might not want to be around,
right?
But you still got to be respectful.
What up,
Hey, they ask you these things on the application. Are you a team player?
Yeah.
How good do you work around different people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And being phony, you'll answer those questions knowing damn well you hate working around people. But you do it anyway.
So read them other two.
Manage your time well. Use good time management skills. Be a critical thinker. Companies look for employees who can think critically.
I think one of y'all just was saying something about that. You ain't got to be micromanaged. Go in there, knock the job out. Okay, you might not be the most sociable. You're not supposed to be. I don't know if we gonna cover that. Your job ain't where you make friends. Your social life. I don't know if we gonna cover that, but be the person you go in there and you knock the job out. Like they say what they know when you come there.
Right.
You getting it done. You out the way. You gone. You what's next? All right. See y'all later. I'm gone. He come in. He be ready to go. He in and out. Let that be you at the job. All that other beings, I don't know if we're going to touch on it. I don't want to jump the gun, but all that other stuff, forget that. Handle your business, period.
So read that last sentence.
The qualities of a good employee include emotional intelligence.
Ooh. That's key. That's big.
Integrity.
That's big.
Humility.
Yep.
Confidence and dedication.
So in this, and when you have this mindset, yes, they gonna work the hell out of you.
Yep.
Because you're gonna be one of 10. Because 9 of the other 9 people gonna be BSing, doing other stuff. They ain't gonna be working, so they gonna come to you because they know you're gonna get the job done.
Right.
In some situations, yeah, you can. You know what I'm saying? You can. You can go to your HR. You can handle certain things where, you know what I'm saying, they overworking you, things like that, but you don't want to turn into the bitter employee, and now you grumbling and complaining, you slacking on the job because you overworked me today. You don't go down that road. You want to maintain your integrity, maintain the reputation that you develop, and continue to do your work. They're gonna come to you because they know you're gonna get the job done. Go in, do your work, clock in, and go home.
That's where that critical thinking come in at.
Right.
You can actually see the situation for what it is and not what you emotionally think that it is. You see that, hey, I'm the only one really doing the work. So you abide for a moment, and like the officer eloquently stated, go to HR and be like, hey, they overworking me. Can y'all hire some help? Can y'all motivate these people? Do something. Critically think and not just be emotional and think you being picked on.
Right. You can't in that, like, you can't be, why you always asking me to do this stuff? Why you ain't asking them? They just standing around talking all day.
Yep.
That ain't the way to handle it. Go to the HR or even pull the manager to the side. Like, hey, I noticed that I know I come in, I do my job. I know you ask me because you know it's gonna get done, but I feel like I'm being overworked. I feel like you go and express it.
Right.
So that way it could be handled properly. The situation can be handled properly, and you don't stain your name.
Right.
So let's skip to video 8. So I'm gonna play 2 more videos, just some practical things that we need to learn how to do as we navigating an Esau system. Some just practical things that we should learn how to do, because these are some things that we encounter when we at work, when we in professional spaces, things like that. We don't necessarily do it amongst each other, but these are some things that when we out in the world, whether you're going in on an interview, you dealing with the other nations, whatever the case may be, you got a business you handling business meetings, things like that. These are a few things that we should learn how to do. We should know how to do so when we go in these settings. We maintain a professional standpoint. Play. This first one is how to shake hands.
How to shake hands. Sure, you know how to do it, but do you know how to do it well? You will need a working hand and a confident attitude. Step 1. Make sure your palms aren't sweaty. Step 2. Standing about a yard away, offer your right hand to the person you're greeting. If your right hand is incapacitated or immobilized, use your left hand. Step 3. Grasp the other person's hand firmly but without excessive force. You want the flesh of your hand between your thumb and your index finger to grasp the same part of the other person's hand. Imagine you're holding an egg. You want to keep a firm grip on it, but you don't want to break it. Step 4. Gently move your hand up and down by using your elbow. Using your wrist conveys weakness, while using your shoulder can result in excessive force. Maintain eye contact throughout the handshake. Step 5. Release the other person's hand after 1 or 2 pumps. Did you know?
So that's it. So that's just the basic practical knowing how to shake hands, because a lot of our people and a lot of Esau, you give a weak handshake, they look at you like you ain't. They look at you. They lose respect for you. They lose respect for you. They think you weak and wimpy. They lose respect for you. So this is something that's practical to know. Go to the next video. And then we're gonna go to the commercial.
It might seem petty, but this is the stuff they judge you by.
Yep.
Dapping them up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
So let's play this last one.
So this is a quick tutorial on how to make a double Windsor tie knot, my own personal favorite. This is a knot any man should know. It's symmetrical and can be used for both formal and casual wear. So let's get started. We take the wide end, put it over the small, narrow end. Then we take the tip of the tie and loop it through the neck loop as such. Then we put this part behind like such.
Going back over.
And then we take the tip over the neck loop again, creating this sort of V shape. Then we take it over like such to create the front part of the knot. And again, pull it up through the neck loop. And then we got a little bit of a hole right here. We pull it through that one again. Boom. Fast, easy, and simple double Windsor. Symmetrical,
if I can
ready
say
to use for any occasion.
That's the end.
Oh, it's not still. Damn, how long this is? A tie?
That's
How
all
long?
you said. That's pretty much it. I think he just finna promote his page or something.
I'm
So
finna
that's
say,
pretty much it.
what else you gonna do to tie? But no, I wanted to say, like, that's one of the first. I know because I put on a tie before. I had to do it for an interview. That's one of the first little knots that you learn. If you got an uncle or somebody, because that's the easy little tie knot. We don't like wearing ties. That ain't our custom. But you might got to do that for an interview.
Right.
You might got to throw the tie on. It is what it is. You got to adapt. You got to do that in and out. Because this is the perception you got to put on for this interview. You got to look, as they say, professional.
Right. So we're gonna go into commercials and we'll be right back with the local news.
In 2024 alone, Texas has the highest number of Amber Alerts thus far. Help us prevent our loved ones from being taken from us. Know where they are, monitor them, and most importantly, teach them to be aware of their surroundings.
The Lord has commanded us to come together. That's right. In one mind, one spirit, in the Lord Jesus Christ. We're making the light shine to show all the nations that we're God's people. Hopefully we can wake up many of the nation of Islam mind to the truth of this Bible. But we have one thing in common. We're all oppressed by the same man. And we are here to show people who they are and how do we come out of this condition. Facts. IUIC, the vanguard, the leaders of this movement. We are those guys. That's right. Your clock was there on your left.
That's how you do it. Positive vibes. Community need this, man. It's a good look. Great look.
We have to get from behind the pulpit and into the streets. This is where it's all happening at. So yeah, you're going to get a little dirty. Yeah, it's going to be hard. But you know what? It's worth it. It's for our people. Why don't you live for the people? Why don't you struggle for the people? Why don't you die for the people?
Do y'all know where y'all at? It ain't even Baltimore, Maryland no more. It's Consoland. K-N-Y-A-Z-L-A-N-D. Consoland. It's Princeland. Cons stand for Prince. That's the first thing. The land is Princeland. The men need to take over for mankind. I never heard of womankind, I heard of mankind.
We are going to shine like you wouldn't believe. You are a walking billboard for God. Because guess what? Not everybody understands what we're about. Not everybody can relate, but what they can do is see, I don't understand. But that right there, I want to learn more. How do they get these men? Because it's nothing but the Spirit of the Lord. In the great direction of Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Yawasop, Bishop Kanai, and the deacons of IUIC. That's why we're here. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. You gotta do everything to attention to detail, everything.
Cousin was a 22-year-old that was found in the back of the car.
Found in the back of the car.
Last week, Friday the 12th.
Last week.
Help but fall as candles burn in memory of 22-year-old Zambrisha Works. Her body was disturbingly found after she had been beaten to death and left in the backseat of a 2017 Dodge Journey on Stahala.
See me rising up, you better get back. Harmless as a dove, but you still gon' feel my impact. That young lion, Simba back. Nourished off the Similac. Now everything you built is at stake. Don't let it be known. We need y'all. Us black women need y'all. Women, but I'm beating on this great whore. I'm no longer ignorant. I made it out that great war. Casting down doctrines now. Need I say more? Yes, man. Give me my respect now. Babylon falling in my knees on her neck now. She screaming, I can't breathe. I love that sound. Know what I'm saying? You looking at a God in the flesh now.
Amen, amen. Hey, it looks like we got a full house in the Lord's church today. We got all races, like the Bible says, all are welcome. Pastor Cub, say something to the people. Amen, amen. Woo! Malachi chapter 3 and verse 8. Will a man rob God? You better have the Lord's money, my brother. You gotta have the Lord's money. Woo! How do we rob the Lord? With tithe. Woo, and offerings. Amen, amen. God, tomato.
Look in the mirror, what do you see? I see me, what that mean? G-O-D. Okay. Look in the mirror, what do you see? I see me, what that mean? G-O-D.
I look into the mirror, I see Jesus in myself. I'm trying to get in heaven, I can't do this thing myself. I need all the water, do not use me as a subs. I need laws, I need counsel, I need more than just be well. I'm on Paul time, not y'all time. Y'all word speaking is awful, and it's a mall line for this call line. Boy, y'all ain't and it's awful. It's a full death in that pot full, and that's not cool for the lawful. I advise you to let light shine, for he awful. Pastor, I've been looking for you. I need you to talk to me. I heard you can walk on water. Could you show me that they clean? I heard you've been taking tithes and you're not accepting tea. How are you taking them tithes and they should be obsolete? I'm on a milestone, no rhinestones with a high show, no cloud tone, no bounce on, no sound tone. It just be. Gotta watch out when I'm round you, because I think the devil done find you on my side. Luke 22, and that's me. Yeah. With my phone, turn it on. Take a selfie, I see Jesus in myself. Hey, with my phone, turn it on. Take a selfie, I see Jesus in myself. With my phone, take a selfie, I see Jesus in myself. With my phone, take a selfie, I see Jesus in myself. in the kingdom, ain't no need in chasing me. Tryna come up and confound me. In the heart he found me. Them slick words won't bound me with no luck, no luck. Them excellent for them clowns, please. Not to drop to that hound knee. Clean up on all three. No luck, no luck, no luck, no luck. Look into the mirror, I look familiar. Jesus like with my familiar. Shout out to my cousin failure. I show ya and can tell ya, no, not one of these gon' fail ya. I do this by the layer. Tell them that the kingdom tailored. Look into the mirror, I look familiar. Jesus like with my familiar. Shout out to my cousin failure. I show ya and can tell ya, no, not one of these gon' fail ya. I do this by the layer. Tell them that the kingdom tailored. With my phone, turn it on, take a selfie. I see Jesus in myself. Hey, with my phone, turn it on, take a selfie. I see Jesus in myself. Look in the mirror. What do you see? What that mean? Okay. Look in the mirror. What do you see?
Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east.
Because we read earlier about Armageddon. All these things is taking place is going to happen in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East. That's where all this is going to pop off. That's when World War III takes place. That's where the nations come together and go to war. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're anticipating.
Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
The nations of the dragons of Arabia. Right now, the Israelis are destroying and bombing the hell out of the Arabians. And they're getting pissed off. And right now, they're taking it. They're getting destroyed. The men, the women, the children, they're getting flattened by the Israelis and the American alliance, the American assistance they're receiving. But be mindful. Understand that all these Arabs, of all these Muslim factions, whether it be Shia or Sunni, all these Arab nations eventually, according to prophecy, are going to come together. They're going to fight back. It's going to spark our revolution. It's going to spark our deliverance. 5, 6,
4, 3, 2, 1. أرض لي من النهار إلا البحر الأرض لي أرض لي من النهار إلا البحر الأرض لي أرض لي. Jerusalem's a burdensome stone. You should have left the people alone. When Christ come back to sit on the throne, it's over and done, your people are gone. Come on, watch your back with all this bombing going on in Gaza. You might be shopping in the mall and they blow up the plaza. These Palestinians, they lost their children and their mama. How they gonna deal with the trauma? They gonna turn into Obama. They waging jihad, a holy war is now emerging. It's gonna get crazy like that movie when they started purging. When they retaliate, you know they getting down and dirty. Vengeance in their eyes, they thirsty, they ain't showing any mercy. People ask me how I feel when I see all this killing. I tell them this is Bible prophecy you see fulfilling. I ain't worried about a thing, me and my people chilling. All of this is vengeance from God for evil dealing. These people enslaved us and shamed us, and now we know historically how they changed us. So when we say that we the real Jews, they hate us. That's why we waiting on our God to save us. They gave us religion and white man Jesus, sex, guns, and drugs to try to please us. We showing people the truth and now they believe us. Now that we are awoken, they'll never deceive us. Praying. سوف يأخذ الأرض الله غيور على الأرض سوف يأخذ الأرض. Jerusalem's a burdensome stone. You should have left the people alone. When Christ come back to sit on the throne, it's over and done, your people are gone. Come on.
All right, we back with the next segment. What we about to get into? Local news. What we got, officer?
All right, let's get it rolling. All right, let's get this video playing right here.
A would-be armed robber was shot and killed with his own gun on the southwest side. It happened near Laughlin and Garfield in the Back of the Yards neighborhood. Chicago police say the suspect pulled a gun on a man who was working outside. The two struggled for the weapon and it went off, hitting the suspect in the torso. He was taken to a hospital and died.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.
Now, this right here is what's taking place all over the world, but it's a lot of this taking place here in Chicago. And what happened? You had this brother that tried to rob somebody else and ended up getting put to death. That's actually in the scriptures. Give me Proverbs chapter 1. The book of Proverbs chapter 1. Let's get to it. Start at verse... Proverbs chapter 1, start at verse 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
So these people that's out here doing these crimes, that's committing all these crimes in these various cities, they bound to do it to anybody. Anybody can get it. But watch what it say. Read.
And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives.
So when they go out and they commit these crimes and they do this evil to people, people are going to fight back and they're going to end up getting themselves put to death.
Facts.
That's what happened with this brother that went out to rob somebody and his own gun killed him.
Hey, officer, man, let me get one more script before we move to the next thing.
Right.
Exodus 22:2. Saying the same thing that you just brought out.
So
any of you brothers, you want to hit people pockets, you want to hit a stain, you want to hit a lick, you want to rob, you want to catch you a goofy, whatever you want to call it, that can be your fate.
Right.
The Bible says you can lose your life trying to rob somebody.
Bring it out.
Especially when the concealed carry age too.
Exactly.
You better stop playing.
Everybody trying to protect themselves now.
Everybody.
And they not willing to give up the things they really work hard for.
Facts. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 2. If a thief be found breaking up,
you get caught. Or you walk up on somebody, what's in them pockets, and then read.
And be smitten that he die.
Smitten, meaning murdered. They kill you. Then, too, you don't know what nobody capable of, what they trained in, and they put you behind the death. Read.
There shall no blood be shed for him.
Ain't gonna be no blood shed for you. Ain't nobody finna weep for you. You died being a thief. You was trying to do harm to somebody.
Right, so ain't no judgment coming out on that person that defended themselves because they went through the proper steps to get concealed carry, or they went through the proper steps to learn different techniques to defend themselves, and it end up the situation you go out to do this harm to these people, and you end up getting killed. They end up defending themselves. That shedding blood is also going into them not getting judged for what they did.
Period.
Because they protecting themselves. So we got to come out of the ways that we live in as a people. We must come back to God's commandments. That's the only answer. That's the only solution to fix our communities. You got something else, officer?
No, we got to move to the next thing because we got to talk about world news. What's going on globally?
Right.
Let's bring that out.
Now, this is the war that's taking place right now in Israel and Lebanon. Remember, the war kicked off with Israel, Gaza. Now, Israel is working their way through all those countries. Of their thought and their mindset is to take over that whole land over there where the Arabs at. So they destroying these people. They destroying these people's families. They destroying their land. They destroying their houses. And the white man think ain't nothing gonna happen because they sitting on top right now.
Facts.
But let's see what's going on. Roll that.
Day after the truce came into effect, it's already looking shaky. The Lebanese army accused Israel of violating the ceasefire several times on Wednesday and Thursday.
So hold on. So there was a ceasefire put in place between the Arab countries and the Israelis, right? The fake Jews.
Bring it out.
To cease the fire, to stop the war that's going on in that land. And already the Israelis is violating that ceasefire.
Bruh.
That's the same thing as far as the peace treaty that was made with the Northern
Hey, I
Kingdom.
was just thinking the same thing.
That's what this man do.
You got songs?
That I ain't gonna bring it. You can bring it out.
Hey, we got to get songs. We got to get songs.
Let a little bit more of this play go back,
Yep.
and then bring out
ahead.
that scripture.
Go ahead.
Go back a little bit. Let it play.
Looking shaky. The Lebanese army accused Israel of violating the ceasefire several times on Wednesday and Thursday. This after Israeli warplanes fired on a Hezbollah weapons facility in southern Lebanon, hours after its tanks fired on people trying to return to certain areas, which it called a violation of the ceasefire. Under the agreement, Israeli forces have 60 days to return to their side of the Blue Line, and Hezbollah to withdraw north of the Litani River, leaving a buffer zone to be patrolled by Lebanese troops and UN peacekeepers. The Israeli military has advised Lebanese not to return to their homes near the border yet, and also announced a nighttime curfew in South Lebanon from 5 p.m. Thursday till 7 a.m. the following day. Nonetheless, tens of thousands of Lebanese who fled their homes continue to head back to their towns and villages across the south, only to find scenes of devastation.
It's really tough. We never imagined it would be like this. We saw the pictures, but when we came and saw it in person, it was really difficult. We got here last night and the smoke was so thick, we couldn't take it.
It's heartbreaking, honestly. It breaks your heart because we don't deserve this. Lebanon doesn't deserve this.
Despite the ceasefire breaches, the clear-up has already begun in parts of the south. The country faces a long road to recovery. The cost of damage to housing is estimated at $2.8 billion, with more than 99,000 housing units destroyed, according to a World Bank report.
All right, you can stop it right there. Go ahead, officer. Bring that script out you got.
Hey, let's get Psalms 55, verse 20, because it's crazy. This is the thing, right? What y'all got to understand. The so-called white man that lives in Tel Aviv, because that's a white man. That is
right.
The people of the Caucasian race. They just under a different name. Spanish, Russian, Ukrainian,
right,
Czechoslovakian. They all from the Caucasus. They all of the Edomite nation. The same way they was with the tribe of Gad, the so-called Native American Indians. They like that with everybody. They never keep their word. Read. Psalms 55, verse 20.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20.
Read.
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
He appeared to be peaceable. On this side of the earth, they're a Christian nation. On that side of the earth, they're under the name Jewish.
Right.
Read.
He hath broken his covenant.
They just made a covenant for a ceasefire and then turned around and broke it.
Quick.
Started shooting right after that. Did the same thing to Gad. Did the same thing to Reuben. Oh, we at peace with y'all. We'll let y'all break the peace treaty, break the ceasefire, and start back killing. This the same white man. Read on.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
They speak smooth. They speak like they gonna be peaceable, but what?
But war was in his heart.
What's in his mind?
War was in his heart.
Killing. Everybody know this man is known as a killer amongst all the world. He is a killer. Read.
His words were softer than oil.
Uh-huh.
Yet were they drawn swords.
He always appeared to be peaceful, always appeared to be non-threatening, but is always violent. Violence is always on his mind. Go ahead,
play the victim.
Yep.
Now, I want y'all to see and understand what happened in that video, how those people's houses was destroyed. Families dead, murdered. Watch this. Give me Habakkuk chapter 2. Children. I was watching one video. They was They had little babies wrapped up in what they had, like cloths. And they was laying up, bruh, they slaughtering all these people. And you think listen, it's a lot of these people, families, that's here that they doing that to. You think they don't see this? You don't think they feel some type of way about their family being slaughtered and murdered?
Bring it out.
Watch this. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. We're going to go through this quick.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth with wine.
Because he transgresseth by wine. The wine is talking about lies when you read Micah chapter 2, verse 11. The lies that they set up with the peace treaties, saying that we're going to stop the war.
Yep.
These people transgressive by wine, by lies. Read.
Bring it out.
He is a proud man.
This man is very prideful. What makes him prideful? His military, his riches, his technology. It makes him proud. It makes him think that nobody can come against them. So this is why they do the things that they do. Read on.
Neither keepeth at home.
And he in everybody else's land. Read. That's what it's talking about. Read.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
He want to take everything. Come on.
And is as death.
And everywhere he go, he bring death with him. Read.
Hey, officer, didn't Oppenheimer, the one that made the bomb, say, I am become death?
I am become death. I have become the destroyer of worlds.
Bruh.
And that's coming too. Watch this, read.
And cannot be satisfied.
And he's not satisfied. He's not satisfied with the land that he already stole from us. The land that he stole here in America from the Native American Indians. He's not satisfied. That's why he's destroying those people's land over there.
Bring it out.
He can't be He say, listen, we got to have all of this. When you look at that video with Nahu, what's his name? Ben Nahu?
Yep. Netanyahu, yep.
He got a map drew on how he going to take all of that land over there. This man cannot be satisfied with what he have. Read.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
He gathereth unto him all nations. That's talking about America, the great melting pot. All nations is here in America. He gathereth unto him all nations. Read.
And heapeth unto him all people.
Watch what the Bible says, because what they would do, they would destroy all those people there and then say, they would be the villain and the hero at the same time and say, come to America.
Right.
Let us help you.
Right.
Let us help heal you. Right? So they bring all these people, after they killed and slaughtered their family, they bring them into America to try to be the hero. They gather unto them all people. Read.
Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him?
Read.
And say, woe to him.
Destruction unto him.
Bring it out.
That increaseth that which is not his.
He's taking land does not belong to him. Watch this. Read on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
So you bring all these people into your land after you destroy their countries. This is what they're going to do. Read.
Shall they not rise up suddenly?
Shall they not rise up quickly?
Boom.
That shall bite thee.
That shall bite thee. You're going to see terrorism in America like you've never seen before.
Fact.
It's coming. And this is what we're trying to warn our people, to come back into this Bible and keep the commandments. That's your covering. That's what's going to protect you from the destruction that's coming to America. It's coming. Read that verse again.
Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? And awake.
And awake. All these Arabs that's here that you think sleep right now, that own all these gas stations, that own these corner stores.
Bring it out.
These Arabs that you see over here, that's their family. They're going to wake up one day. Read.
And awake that shall vex thee.
They're going to bring forth terror to this country. Read.
And thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Last verse, verse 8.
Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
Why are they going to do this?
Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
You destroyed many people. You destroyed many people and then brought them into your land to make them feel like we're the hero.
Right.
We're going to take care of you.
I just killed you, but I'm going to save you.
Right. I just killed all your family. But you, I'm going to save.
Right.
Because you destroyed many nations. Read.
All the remnant of the people.
All the remnant of those people that you brought into this land
shall spoil thee.
They're going to destroy you. Read.
Because of men's blood.
Because of the death that you brought to their country.
And for the violence of the land.
Of
the city. And of all that dwell therein.
So that's what's going to happen. That's the future. you brothers and sisters, the Bible says, pray and watch. Pray and watch. These prophecies is coming to pass.
That's right.
Go ahead, officer.
Hey, let's move to that last thing, black facts.
Bring it out.
Let's bring to that next thing, Let's get to that next thing. Know your history, family. Know your history.
Meet Garrett Morgan, an African-American inventor whose creations changed the world. Born in 1877 in Kentucky, Morgan was the son of former slaves. Although he only had a basic education, his curiosity and creativity led him to become one of the greatest inventors of his time. One of Morgan's most famous inventions was the gas mask. In 1914, he developed a safety hood that protected people from smoke, gas, and harmful chemicals. This invention saved many lives, especially when it was used by firefighters and during World War I. Morgan even used it himself in 1916 to rescue workers trapped in a tunnel explosion in Cleveland. But Morgan didn't stop there. In 1923, he invented the three-position traffic light, something that we all use today. Back then, cars, horses, and pedestrians were all trying to share the roads, and it was chaos. To prevent accidents, this idea was important in making roads safer for everyone. Despite facing racial discrimination, Garrett Morgan's inventions made a lasting impact. He was not only an inventor, but also a successful businessman. Garrett Morgan's creativity, determination, and contributions continue to inspire us today.
Hey, fire. Hey, pause this real quick.
Praise.
A lot of y'all probably did not know Garrett Morgan, a black man of your nation, your people. He made the traffic light. I just learned something. I didn't know that he also made the gas mask. I knew about the traffic light, but I didn't know he made the gas mask. You'd be surprised when you dig deep and you find out the origins of this place and everything that's built here. Our people made it.
Right.
We made it. And it don't matter what conditions you put us in, we always rise out of the dirt, rise out of the dust, and do greatness. So have some pride, have some self-love. I don't want to say pride. Right. Have some self-love. Know your history. You are a great people. So that's going to conclude the segment. Make sure you look into your history. Hey, we'll bring it back, officer.
So you've been tuning in to yet another episode of the Watchman Radio, the Decree of the Watchers, where we've been actively watching for your soul.
That's
right. Semachiah.
Right. Officer Yoganan.
Officer Asa.
And Officer Zephaniah.
Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Hebrews 13:17, prophets on the scene. Wash your souls clean before we go into the gasoline. Took a while to understand Psalms 111:10. Brother calling me from Mississippi trying to build a man. I flushed 14 grams, it made angels rejoice.